Welcome back to another episode of Runewalking in Modern Times. I'm Ken Edwards, a runewalker and shaman of the Northern traditions. I think we're going to jump right off the edge. No, I don't know. Jump in with both feet and let's chat about the book. So, my book, Runes Experience and Gnosis of a Modern Runewalker, um, was supposed to be released on October 1st, 2023. Um, and that date has been pushed up to today, September 20th, 2023. Now, the only reason I'm okay with that is because when I, in my freakish way, add up 9, 20, 2023, I still end up with um, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And 1 plus 8 is 9. 9. And Wednesday, being Woden's Day, I'm going to take that and let it run with it, right? I'm not going to bitch and moan and complain. Because there's more behind this change in date, even though it was sudden, than I can probably even begin to imagine. And I trust that. So the first date I picked arbitrarily because I needed a date. And it added up to, it was a Sunday, but it added up to 9 as well. So I thought, oh, perfect. Um, well, why the date changed is because Amazon released my book early. So the way it works is that you pick a date and say October 1st is the release date. Well, I released books to be ordered by retailers early so that they would have them for a launch of October 1st. Well, I also, because I wanted to know, um, ordered one of my own books from Amazon just so I would be able to go through that experience and see. Not that I haven't ordered through Amazon before, but I wanted to make sure it was going to be fine. So, Monday morning, 2 days ago, I woke up to um, a notification on my phone that says, "Congratulations," or "Guess what? Your book is going to be delivered on Wednesday." So I open and I look at which book because I had ordered two, and it was mine. And I thought, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Now, the reason I panicked was because this week was when I had planned to pack everyone who had ordered through me, every store that had ordered through me. I was going to pack and ship at the end of the week. That way they would have their packages by October 1st. Now, I didn't want I didn't want I didn't want to make everyone wait 2 weeks who had ordered from me because that to me that didn't seem fair and I didn't want that. So busted my ass on Monday. Everything got shipped out today, Wednesday. Um, but as I began to process everything on Monday and realize that when the baby starts coming and it starts coming out the birthing canal, you can't push it back in. Or in my case, the baby came out. I can't put it back in. And there's no sense getting mad. There's no sense getting upset. Um, had this been an instance where I wasn't comforted is the wrong word, but it wasn't conveyed to me spiritually that it's okay for it to be Wednesday, 9/20/2023. Um, I might be in a very different place, but I'm not because of that. I have a feeling that because I had picked it arbitrarily, that when the gods were like, bro, we're done with we're done with this project. It needs to be birthed. Everything is fine. Birth it and let it go. Um, I trust that um immensely. And that is oftentimes something that I think we all struggle with is when do we let go of something? When do we let let the kids go, let them go on and have their own life? When do we let a career or a job go? When do we let a relationship go? When do we let some of the clothes in our closet go? Um, so it was a very good lesson, and I'm happy that it's taken care of. So if you're interested, runewalker.com. You can also go to any of the local stores I've mentioned previously um, to get your copy. And then, of course, Amazon. They're available on Amazon. Bless their, I would say, little cotton socks, but Amazon is one of the deities of today in modern America, probably the world. So, um, where should we go next? I think we should go to the rune bag and see what kind of social commentary, see what kind of commentary the runes have for us in our life today. I had a thought earlier, but it's gone. Well, I had more than one, but the one I'm thinking of is gone. Maybe it will come back. Maybe it will be triggered with this rune. Maybe it was not meant to be in this episode. Stan. Stan, which I'm going to put right here, and then we'll put the graphic over it. There you go. Is one of the Anglo-Saxon Futhorc. Um, we do think of it as a stone. It does mean stone. And maybe one that you're not familiar with if you work mainly with the Elder Futhark. So let's open up the book, and I would share with you on page 145. Oh, it's already there. Stan. So themes and stories. The book is broken up into themes and stories, and then deity. So we're back to Ymir, which is a whole side story, but I'm filing that. Themes and stories, time and perspective. We're looking at foundations and also portals and gateways. With the deity connected to this for me is Ymir. Ymir was the, I don't want to say the first being, but the first being that all of the giants came out of, according to the creation myth. So um, Ymir is also the being that Odin Villian killed and used the giant's body parts to form our world. So, such as the brain was used to make the clouds in the sky. So, and all the other body parts, bones, mountains, that kind of stuff. So, foundational, very foundational for us in our life now. Um, the rune poem that I have written is stone cold, hot stones, standing stones, stone circles, stoned, keystone, stone cold silent, moving at a glacial pace or slower. indicator, watcher, storyteller, if you are patient. Shan is one of those runes that, to me, takes a little bit to get to know and can seem overly simplistic and overly elemental, but I believe it's only because we don't sit still, including myself, long enough to actually hear it. We all are obsessed in modern metaphysical circles with stones. I mean, I even have piles of obsidian, of um I also really love mahogany obsidian. Um anyway, we're obsessed with those. And I think it's because we know we connect with them and we know about it. A lot of times I mean, there are many, many websites dedicated and books dedicated to, oh, clear quartz means XYZ in a metaphysical sense. Um, Obsidian is a great grounding stone, all of that. Um, Howlite is one of my favorites, by the way, for grounding and healing and calming of anxiety. But so I utilize them as well. Now, what was always funny to me when I ran or was owner of Blue Antler was that people would take the bowl of stones and they would pour them out on the table and they would feel through them and they would search for the stone that was the one that called to them or the one that they felt connected to. So we feel it, we get it, we understand it. Um, on a deeper level, I think, than we can actually communicate. And that's where Stan becomes very deep, very profound, very strong, very impactful. I frequently see Stan as being like the keystone in an arch. So you'll have an arch, the rock at the very top in the middle is the keystone because it helps hold the whole arch together. It's where the pressure sits. So I use that rune and that imagery when I'm working with people on building their maybe their core concepts or their core ethics or their core morals, the things that they believe in that they want to be their structure. These are the things that are going to hold them up, that hold the doorway open, hold them together. So what is that? So Shtang can be very impactful and important in that way. Oh, I feel as though we probably should draw another rune because I feel like the interaction between the two runes will be um, insightful. So, one of the things I think we'll be doing more on the podcast is looking at combinations of runes and how they work together because I believe that is partially one of the hardest things about learning to work with the runes is forming the sentence and forming the story, um, pulling the threads together of different runes to see the story. So, uh, before I pull, I will say I posted a video today about what the rune chapters look like in the book. And if you're interested and you don't have the book yet, or if you don't know if you might want the book, I went over the rune Kalk, which is another one of the Anglo-Saxon runes, but um, it. I read the whole chapter. I read the one of the two poems in it. So if you're interested in seeing what the book looks like or what the chapters kind of sound like, what my voice sounds like via black and white printed paper, um, go there. Uh, it's a good, I think it's a good little, it has some swear words, so I hope you don't get offended. I don't know. We'll see. So, back to Sean and insight, allowing it to be, allowing it to interact with another rune. And that rune is going to be Ansu's. So, Ansu's is not, uh, oh, okay. Actually, we could break it down. Ansu's is one of the more interesting runes because Ansu's and Os are, they can hold the same space if you only use the 24. The sigil or the symbol used is different depending on Icelandic, Norse, Anglo-Saxon. So it gets a little confusing. Because I use the 33 runes, I separate, because I also feel that they're very different beings, I separate Ansus and Os. And you'll see that in the book. So Ansus, for me, is a rune of clearing. And I will turn to that page just so you and I can both experience the book. Now, Ansus is page 103. Remember that when you get the book, they're not in order. Ansus, so themes and stories, messages, clearing, wind and air. One of the deities associated is Odin. Yes. So the poem reads, like Odin on the winds of the terrible storm, it clears and collects, the land refurbished, the forest anew, collecting breath, the breath, our breath. Now, thank you. I'm saying thank you to you, but thank you to the threads that came together in that. I will say, if you're watching on YouTube, great. If you're not, go to YouTube and watch because I'm going to show you. In the book, I have pages or bits of information that are on the page that are outlined in a black box. And they're concepts that maybe I just need to go into real quick there, and it gives you a brief idea, but you can research it somewhere else later. But Ansu's, the one thing we should talk about is Galder. So Galder is vocalizing the runes. You don't have to be a trained singer to do this. I often see it as a place between speaking and singing. And that's my personal view of that. Now, a lot of times I will mention that with Stan, that if we could record it, what the stones have to say, and then play it back fast, we would get it because we would hear it in the proper time frame that we can understand words. But because to us it sounds like one tone, it's just that they're in the middle of saying the word or saying the feeling or saying the idea. So when we're talking about Stan, remember that speaking, remember that if we really want to hear and communicate with things that are maybe, you know, what an animist, from an animist perspective, like the stones, the trees, they're alive. If we want to communicate with them, we have to change and shift our speed and slow it down. Also, with Ansus, it's about, with Stan together, it's time to look at what our, let's go back to the arch, right? The archway that has maybe 4 stones up each side with the cornerstone or the keystone at the top holding the arch together. So, what are your 9 ethics? What are your 9 core concepts that are your beliefs and that guide you, that guide your worldview and guide how you interact with people? It may be time to go through and see which ones no longer work. Or if I go back to the stones, see which ones are crumbling, falling apart, not holding their weight, so that you can then replace that stone so that everything doesn't fall, but you can replace that stone and kind of refurbish the arch and make sure that you're still working and that your ideas and that your worldview is still held together. We have to do that from time to time. We have to renegotiate contracts. So, from Sean today, uh, being also held with insight by Ansu's, clearing away and looking at what needs to be cleared away in our ethics and our worldview, the concepts and belief systems that hold us, that we hold individually, it's different for everyone, need to be looked at. So maybe sit down, take some time, especially because we're now moving into the fall equinox and a great time to begin to shed things, um, begin to at least look into that so that you can begin to start adjusting and shifting for the coming new calendar year, but also for the coming planting, taking care of harvesting season. Um, so, one, two, slow down. I tend to speak really quickly, and I think we speak really quickly because we want to get it all out. We want people to hear what we have to say. And I'm going to take from this that I need to slow down, speak slower, speak more intentionally, and also just shut the fuck up and listen to the stones, listen to the trees, listen to the earth. What is it? What is it kind of telling us right now? Because where I'm at, it's getting cooler. The sky turned from its summer blue to its fall blue for me. The sunflowers are beginning to drop their petals. What does all that mean? Yes, it means we're moving into winter. And there are deeper, more subtle nuances that we're just not picking up on because we don't shut the fuck up and slow the fuck down. Now, to finish off today's episode, don't forget that the book is now available, as I spent 10 minutes talking about in the beginning. You can always go to runewalker.com or the stores I mentioned previously. If you have ideas for episodes that you would like to hear about or topics that you would like to discuss or me to chime in on, please always feel free to go to the website and contact me through there. There's a contact submission page. And I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being with me on the journey that was this book, even if it was only a for a few years, because this has been gestating for 5 or 6 years, maybe more. And yeah, I appreciate you. Remember, take some time, slow it down, slow your speech, listen, and yeah, have a great week. Have a great fall equinox, and we'll talk to you all next week. Remember, wait, remember? No, not remember. May your weird be filled with health, wealth, strength, and virility.